My name is Bill Keegan. This is segment 3 of the permeability panel. What I'm going to show you now is basic setup. This is not a fixed setup. You can do it any way you want. Normally your pore pressure transducer goes here to measure your pore pressure. You've got the head, which is red, and the tail, which is black. Now, once these are hooked up, you can apply pressure to the top and bottom of the sample to saturate. This is your confining pressure. Goes in burette 1. That's your basic setup. It's quite simple. If you want to fill your chamber, you put this here and put another quick connect in the top to release the air. This is tap water. It will go in very quickly, fill up your cell. Once it's filled, you come back to number 1. All of this is supplied with the cells. You get the connections, the tubing necessary. You'll see here this is a 4-inch pedestal and a 4-inch cap. The permeability cell will handle a 4-inch sample, but it cannot be a 2-to-1 ratio. It's got to be 1.5 or less. That's permeability. The triaxial cell can handle up to a 3-inch. If you go to a 4-inch, you'll have to go to the S511, which is the larger triaxial cell. Okay. What we're going to do is simulate a quick test. I'm not going to turn all the valves on because I don't want to get wet. I have no sample. I'm going to set up my pressures. I make sure everything is off. Head, tail, confining head, tail. Everything's off. Go to pressure. I'm going to set my 5 psi differential. Under normal circumstances, this is as far as you go with this until you come to your confining pressure. To your consolidation. When you come to consolidation, you'll need to increase this one. Like I said, this is calibrated in metric, so it's very sensitive at the lower end. Yeah, that's close enough. Okay, turn on your auto load. Turn off number 3. Turn on your bridge. Now what we've got is we've got our confining pressure. Number 2 is in charge of both burette head and tail. It'll also increase number 1 to 5 psi. Now I'm going to set number 2 to 10 psi. I check number 1, make sure it's at least what I set. Okay. Number 3 is off. Number 1 has pressure. Number 2 has pressure. 2 and 3 are pressurized. You decide what you want to use here. Normally in a saturation phase, you'll want to use your burette because it'll recognize the change quicker. So we're going to flip these over to burette. You leave this valve in the up direction. It means the flow's coming straight through. If you turn those to the side, you're going to either go to drain, which is a way to drain your burette, or to water, which you do not want to do with pressure on, because you will get a backflow into your de-airing tank. Now, when you turn on your pressures, always go, let's do that. Confining, head, tail. As you can see, I didn't tighten those fittings, so I got a leak. I have a leak. That's the way you turn them on. Confining, head, tail. You come over here, your confining pressure is already applied to your cell. You go head, tail. If you turn them off, you do it in exactly the same direction. You go turn the tail off, turn the head off, tail, head, confining. That's basically what you do. Now follow ASTM in order to saturate your sample. Basically you're going to watch your pressures rise and fall. I'm going to briefly show you how to do a B value. In order to do your B value, you shut all valves off. Now I just did it backwards. You want to increase your pressure 5 psi. Now watch how I do this. I'm going to increase number 2 5 psi. Now what that's going to do, it's going to increase these two, but I'm going to leave these valves off. So I'm going to increase number 2 5 psi. Now when I turn on my confining pressure, this should be at 20. So basically what I've done is I've raised all 3 5 psi, but I'm not going to turn these two on. I turn on I read my pour pressure, monitor it, turn the pressure on, watch for the confining pressure squeeze, check my B value on the readout once it's settled out a little bit. Once you've done that, turn everything back off, then you can apply your next pressure or accept the 5 psi change. Accept the 5 psi change, you turn confining on, head, tail, head, tail. That's all there is to it.